The year is 2025. The console wars are over. And the Microsoft president keeps talking about exclusive games. Let's go. I love how, what's this chick's name? Sarah Bond keeps popping up in the news for whatever reason. But she's saying exclusive games are antiquated, Xbox president says. People have grown way past the idea of exclusives, Sarah Bond says. The idea of exclusive games in 2025 is antiquated. And according to Xbox President Sarah Bond, she said in a new interview that people are beginning to evolve way past the idea of games should be exclusive to one store or device. Which I completely agree with her. I think that genuinely, online gaming should be free. So I don't know why they have the Game Pass, which you have to buy in order to play your Xbox online. Antiquated. I'm just saying, it's 2025. The biggest games in the world are available everywhere. You look at Call of Duty, you look at Minecraft, you look at Fortnite, you look at Roblox. That's actually what's really driving community in gaming. I mean, you know what really helps you right there is you named Call of Duty, you name Minecraft, and those are two titles that Microsoft owns. And it does absolutely drive communities because every year, all friend groups always have at least that 1 month where they play Minecraft constantly. Every year, there's that friend group that always runs Call of Duty for the first three weeks to a month after Call of Duty comes out. And then you got the friend groups like mine that are constantly running Fortnite because it's fun. That's where people gather. And the idea of locking it to one store or device is antiquated for most people. And I agree with that. But she's saying this due to the fact that Microsoft has failed Microsoft failed the Xbox brand. Let's reword that. They basically let down their entire community that believed in the Xbox brand, and now they're trying to really backtrack and make things look better than what they actually are. They're going the route of Sega, where they're not going to make consoles anymore, which supposedly, we're going to air quote that, they're going to release the next generation of consoles, which is supposedly going to be, leaps and bounds better than this generation of consoles. They say that every console generation. You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, which I completely agree with. I think it would be nice to be able to take my Xbox, play it anywhere. Take my PC, play it anywhere. It's called laptop. But anyways, regardless of what they're on and and we're really leaning into what the experience ROG Ally X, it just opened up another way for you to play games, as does cloud. Well, I did a video on cloud gaming last week, it was either last week or the week before. And I tried to play a couple of the cloud gaming, games that they have to offer. I tried Fortnite, which was a complete hot mess. And then I tried Fallout 3, I think it was. And I played Fallout 3 for about 40 minutes. And it was just a laggy mess, one. The input delays was ridiculous. And the voices and the facial expressions just completely did not match up. So as a complete selling point for Microsoft to really push cloud gaming, it's not quite there yet, Sarah. Microsoft was once a big deliverer in exclusive games. In my opinion, this is my opinion now, the fall of Xbox ultimately started when they did away with console exclusives. Because I've said it for over the last year and a half. The second they did away with console exclusives and they were like, okay, well, if it's coming to the Xbox, it's coming to the PC. That was the kiss of death to the Xbox right there. There was absolutely no reason to really, buy an Xbox when you can play it on the PC and you don't have to worry about paying an online fee to play online. Because if you play on a PC, it's free. But the company has updated its business strategy and has in recent times opted to release its games in more places, including rival systems. In the long run is a very good thing because it's going to ultimately bolster the community that's playing it. For Sony, the company has also begun to bring more of its games to places beyond PlayStation, including PC, and in the case of Helldivers 2, Xbox. Helldivers 2 isn't the only one that was brought over from, being an exclusive to the PlayStation. MLB The Show has been also brought it over. But the problem with that is MLB was the ones that forced the hand and told them, hey, if you want to keep that exclusive license, you better make it available on the Xbox. Do I blame the MLB? Absolutely not. Nintendo, however, only releases its own games for its own exclusive platforms, and that's proven to be a good business for the company, which I completely agree. I always compare Nintendo to that weird kid that sits in the back of the classroom, everybody knows, everybody likes. Why? Because they do get, for the most part, let me rephrase this. For the most part, their exclusive games are really good. Now, Pokemon games over the last 2 games they've released, which is ZA and Scarlet Violet, were kind of sloppy. But overall, most of the time when you get a Nintendo exclusive, it's a very well done game. Microsoft does not have one single strategy applies to all of its game releases, as some titles are released across multiple platforms simultaneously. Others are not. The business strategy that Sony says it does, and that being that they wait until the game has hit its absolute exhaustion on their platform and it can't sell any more titles, they're going to go out there and they turn around and they release it on Steam. That's the whole strategy that they do. And I mean, Microsoft said that's what they're doing with like Sea of Thieves and all those other ones. One of the next Xbox games that could make the jump to PlayStation is Starfield, with a report saying it will be announced in 2026. Personally, I haven't heard anything good about Starfield. In other news, Microsoft is reportedly gearing up to announce Halo Combat Evolved remake, which might be in the works for the PlayStation 5. Which that right there, that would ultimately kill, and I mean, kill the Xbox brand. Remember, guys, drink your coffee. Microsoft was also in the news recently regarding Bond's comments about the next Xbox console labeling it high-end and prompting fear from fans that it will be a very expensive, which it will be. It will be. Why? Because of microeconomics. That is the word of the day from all of the gaming sphere. I feel like macro or microeconomics is what Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo use when they're like trying to justify a price increase. It's dumb. It really, really is. You come down here and of course there's like a whole bunch of argument. I wonder what it feels like to fail upwards. I mean, me too. Exclusives are what drives consumers to buy your product. Extremely true. Even though this guy right here says wrong, has been for years. They have sales data to prove that from Sony and Microsoft. Bro, you realize the only reason why I bought a PlayStation 5 was to play God of War? God of War. The only reason why I bought a PlayStation 5 is to play Last of Us. The only reason why I bought a PlayStation 5, well, PlayStation, we should just rephrase that, was to play Until Dawn. There's so many exclusive first-party, like, narrative-driven games that are amazing. Oh, Spider-Man games as well. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, There's so many single-player, narrative-driven games that Sony has that are amazing that drives the sales of their consoles. And like I said, he goes into basically saying a lot of the stuff I've already said, which is there's no Xbox exclusive console games, blah, 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 blah. But on top of that, like, you can look at the sales data for Nintendo. Nintendo does not release their first-party games anywhere else, and they turn around and they pedal, and I mean pedal the shit out of the Nintendo Switch. And then that's not what she said 2 years ago when she was hyping up Starfield. Like, all seriousness, this Sarah Bond chick, I have nothing against her, but she does contradict herself when she's like, Starfield is going to really push the Xbox brand. And then she turns around and is like, console exclusives don't do anything for us. And I think ultimately the reason why a lot of that is due to the fact that Activision, Blizzard, acquisition by Microsoft, they spent so much money to the point where Microsoft stepped in and goes, hey, you guys better make some goddamn money, and this is where we're at. Let's go full screen. I want to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section below, which I completely agree with her. 2025 exclusive games are antiquated. You know what else is antiquated in 2025? Charging people to play online. I want to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section below, because I 100% believe that she's kind of contradicting herself, because we got to move forward. I think that PlayStation Plus, I think that Game Pass, if you're going to play on a console, I think they should allow you to play online for free instead of requiring you to have said, basically subscriptions in order to play online, because I can play online for free on my PC. Food for thought. Y'all take it easy. Have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.